The topic that I'm gonna talking about of this video is about the problems of gambling in Thailand society, which is related to the Gambling Act of 1935. So, firstly, let's get to know that what is gambling. Gambling is the betting or stacking of something of value with consciousness of risk and hope of gain on the outcome of a game, a contest, or an uncertain event whose result may be determined by chance or accident, or have an unexpected result by the reason of the bettor's miscalculation. And about the background history of gambling in Thailand. Gambling has long been a feature of Thailand society. Local Thailand partook in more than 100 well-known gambling games. Some gambling forms such as betting on cockfights, bullfights, or boat races are native to Thai culture. In the late of 19th century, marked a significant increase in the level of gambling in Thailand. People started to gamble more frequently, and a variety of games were introduced from foreign traders or immigrants. And gambling started to hit mainstream. It was during that period that the lottery was introduced from China and became very popular in Thailand. So, all the reason that I have told before is showing the needs of gambling acts. So, the government of Thailand at that time have passed the first Gambling Act in 1930 and revised it in 1935. Let's get to know more about the dimension between law and gambling. Globally, gambling laws can be categorized into three types. First is total prohibition. The second is prohibition with the possibility of obtaining the permits. And the third, the full legalization. The primary focus of gambling law is to regulate organizers and the venues where gambling takes place. In many countries, individuals who participate in gambling are not deemed offenders, as gambling is considered a personal freedom and a form of entertainment. Therefore, the state is responsible for overseeing and protecting public in their capacity as consumers. But in Thailand, the Gambling Act 1935 was enacted with a framework that prohibits gambling but allows for permits to be issued. Under this law, lawyer degrees can be issued to authorize gambling activities. For example, in 1935, a royal decree was issued to establish casino, which was later revoked. Additionally, Thai law imposed penalties on individuals participating in gambling. It also presumes guilt for individuals found in gambling venues, treating them as participants. And furthermore, the law penalized those who advertise or promoting gambling as well. As we have already talking about the meaning of gambling, the background history of gambling in Thailand, and also about the Gambling Act of 1935. Now it's time for the main part, which is the issues with Thailand gambling laws. Given that the Gambling Act of 1935 has been in place for many years, it has become outdated despite occasional amendments. However, these amendments have not addressed the structural problems of the law. Two major issues are particularly evident. First, law fines that do not reflect modern realities. The penalties are unappropriated to the offense committed, since the potential benefit from gambling far outweighs the fines. Individuals are willing to organize or participate in gambling activities. And second, limited scope of asset confiscation. The law permits the confiscation of assets only within the gambling context. Other benefits or profit derived outside this context cannot be seized under the Gambling Acts. As a result, anti-money laundering law must often be used in states, as the scope of Gambling Act is too narrow. And other than that, the challenge of online gambling is also essential. The aforementioned problems have been exacerbated with the advent of online gambling. Online gambling has altered the form and venue of gambling, making enforcement more complex and challenging. Additionally, more individuals and entities are now involved in gambling. This can be divided into 5 groups. First, gambling organizer. Second, gamblers. The third is promoter and advertiser, including like celebrities or influencers or an actor. And the fourth is financial institution, such as bank, serving as intermediaries for transactions. And the fifth, the last one, is the website owners and programmers who distribute gambling platforms or develop systems for such websites for gambling organizers and promoters. The Gambling Act of 1935 continues to cover their offense, although the penalties remain insufficient. As previously mentioned, regarding financial institutions, the Royal Decree on Measures for the Prevention and Suppression of Technological Crime of 2023 has been enacted to grant them authority to monitor suspicious financial activities. However, there is no specific law addressing the offense of the website owners or programmers who is involved in online gambling. The Computer Crime Act also cannot be applied to online gambling cases. This legal loophole allows such offense to persist without clear repercussion. As the issue that has been mentioned, this is the example to evidence that this problem is not a small problem and it's also very important to Thailand society. It is the report from The Nation, which is stated that nearly 5 million Thai children and youth are gamblers. Thailand is grappling with a pressing gambling crisis, with nearly 5 million children and young people participating in various forms of gambling. A recent report led by Professor Nuannoi Trirat from the Center for Gambling Studies revealed alarming data. The study, conducted between November 15 to 27 of 2023, sampled over 7,000 individuals aged 15 and above across 24 provinces. It found that 99.3% of respondents knew someone who involved in gambling, with children making up 21% and youth 26%. The research indicated that around 1 million children ages 15 to 18 are now gamblers, while the number of youths aged 19 to 25 are around 3.92 million. Both figures representing an increase from 2021. The negative ramifications of gambling are extensive, with 45 million people reporting adverse effects, ranging from financial strain and deteriorating mental health to familial conflicts and social isolation. Sadly, over 6 million gamblers are deemed at high risk of developing problematic gambling behaviors and could not benefit from mental health support, a resource that is still insufficient available in Thai society. We came to the last part of the video now, which is the solution to the problems amending the Gambling Act 1935. Considering the existing issue combined with the rise of online gambling, even though new laws have been introduced to close some legal loopholes, the Gambling Act 1935 should be amended to make it more relevant to modern times. The law should also be expanded to cover broader aspects of gambling. Two principles from international law could be adapted for Thai legal system. First is about adjustable fines. Impose fine on offender based on the amount of profit gained from gambling. For instance, fine could be set at double the amount of money earned from gambling. This ensures the penalties are proportionate to benefits gained by organizers and players. And second, asset confiscation based on value. Allow courts to exercise discretion to confiscate assets related to gambling profit from up to 6 years prior. This would enable the seizure of gambling-related assets without relying on anti-money laundering laws. Additionally, the law should clearly define jurisdiction and application of Thai law in cases of international offense. Since these crimes occur in online realm, handling such cases and enforcing the law becomes significantly more challenging. And this is all of this video. Thank you for your attention. Happy New Year ครับอาจารย์ขอบคุณครับ